Welcome to your custom deep dive. So, there's this really fascinating ancient Korean saying, right? It goes, a single word can repay a debt of 1,000 yang.
Right, and in yang being, an old form of currency.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it literally means that language holds this immense, measurable value.
Oh, absolutely.
And today we're exploring why that power of spoken words is just, so often forgotten in the modern world. We're looking at the biblical story of Ruth, some pretty bizarre ancient legal customs, and, the profound concept of redemptive speech.
Yeah, and to really see how this works, we have to look at how ancient societies handled these massive transactions. I mean, in Ruth chapter 4, you have this man named Boaz.
Okay.
And he's publicly buying land from a widow named Naomi. He's also taking her Moabite daughter-in-law Ruth as his wife to keep her deceased husband's lineage alive. But there's literally no paperwork involved.
Wait, not at all.
None. Zero paperwork.
Right, because instead of signing a contract, a guy just takes off his sandal and hands it over. I mean, imagine walking into a bank today to close a 30-year mortgage, right?
Yeah, just strolling in.
And instead of signing a deed, you just take off your sneaker, hand it to the teller, and say, we're good.
It sounds totally absurd to us today, but, think about the mechanism here. In a pre-literate society...
Right, no written deeds or county clerks.
Exactly.
Sure.
You needed a highly visible physical act to prove a transfer actually happened. Handing over the sandal wasn't a joke at all. It was basically the ancient equivalent of a notary stamp.
Oh, wow. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, it gave the community elders standing at the city gate a physical memory of the deal. That's what made it legally binding.
Okay, so the physical shoe drops, finalizing the land transfer. But here is the causal link that I find so interesting. That physical exchange immediately triggers a spoken reaction.
Right, exactly.
To finalize Ruth's social acceptance, the elders use something even more legally binding in their culture, which is a spoken blessing.
Right. The elders witness this and declare, "May the Lord make the woman who is coming into your house, like Rachel and Leah, who together built up the house of Israel."
Wow.
And they also bless Boaz's house to be like the house of Perez, who was born to Tamar.
Okay, wait, I'm actually genuinely confused by that part.
How so?
Well, Ruth is a Moabite, and historically Moabites were like enemies and outsiders to Israel.
Right, they definitely were.
So why would the local elders suddenly compare a foreign widow to Rachel and Leah? I mean, those are the founding mothers of their entire nation. That seems historically just completely out of character.
It is incredibly out of character, and honestly, that's the brilliance of this moment. They also mention Tamar, who, like Ruth, was another outsider widow who secured a family line against all odds.
Oh, I see.
The community had a choice here. They could have totally marginalized Ruth, but instead, they actively used their words as a sort of social technology to grant dignity.
Right.
They used the language of blessing to weave a foreigner right into the center of their redemptive history.
They literally spoke her belonging into existence, which draws a really sharp, almost sociological line to how we operate today.
Oh, for sure.
We still use words as a social technology, but our sources point out we often use them to revoke dignity rather than grant it.
Yes, the sources highlight this severe modern deficit of grace. We all know words hold power, yet we weaponize them so reflexively.
Yeah, we really do.
We use harsh language just to vent stress, or we treat gossip as casual entertainment.
Right, the examples from the sources are brutal, but honestly very familiar. Like bosses insulting employees with things like, "No wonder you are the way you are."
Oh, yeah, terrible.
Or parents saying deeply hurtful things to kids in the heat of the moment. Even just the psychology of toxic, negative self-talk, Like looking in the mirror and just repeating, "I am a failure."
It's heartbreaking, and it reflects this cultural default toward dividing and condemning one another. What the community at the gate models isn't just ancient history, it's a blueprint for us.
I love that, a blueprint.
Yeah, we desperately need to return to a language of love, using our speech as an intentional instrument to build others up rather than, tear them down.
So whether you're standing at an ancient city gate or just in the break room at work, your speech is an instrument that can either tear down or give life. The way you speak to your family, your coworkers, and yourself, it really matters.
Which leaves you with an important question to mull over. Think about the conversations you will have right after this deep dive.
Yeah.
Are you actively choosing life-giving words? And, maybe more importantly, what negative script do you need to stop repeating over yourself today?
Exactly. Because if an ancient community could use a few sentences to literally rewrite a foreign widow's destiny, just imagine what hidden leverage your casual conversations have on the people around you today.